there, Ms. Winslow here. I am your music appreciation teacher for trimester 2. I'm really excited to get started, and I wanted to go over how we're going to navigate the OMHS system here, and also making sure that you know what is due for our first week. Each week I will be putting out an announcement with that, but I'm going to be a little bit more detailed the first week because we have some new students. All right, so from this page, which is our login to getting into your online classes, I have a lot of here, but find the music appreciation one, and then we will come to our landing page there. All right, so here you will probably see any announcements that I post, including this one in the middle here. This is the first other one that I posted. And on the left, you have our plan. Okay, so for the first day of learning, November 8th, we have two things that say learn, which is basically just reading assignments. And then our first graded assignment is going to be that you turn in a paper that shows what you're going to choose for our listening or practice logs. Let me show you that document real quick. My mouse is acting funny. There we go. So this is what this looks like. If you read through this, it kind of explains that you're going to be choosing one to do for the whole trimester, but actually I'm not going by that. I'm going to let you choose by week. So each week we will be turning in some sort of music log, either a practice log or a listening log. Okay. This form is just for you to simply put your name up here and say that, yes, I understand I'm doing this. Okay. Each week. So down at the bottom, you're choosing whether you're doing practice logs or listening logs or both. I just selected both. You can put here what instrument or instruments you intend to practice with, or just if it's your voice, or maybe it's a combination of things. That's fine too. If you know you do not want to do any practice logs, you can just select listening logs this semester. I just like to say, basically, if you think you might want to do practice logs, you might want to select both, because there may be some weeks where you don't feel like doing the practice logs, or vice versa, really. But if you're not a singer or an instrumentalist, you may not want to participate in any practice logs. You're going to put your name here. You can either print it out, sign it, digitally sign it, or just type it is actually fine. And then your learning coach as well, just to make sure that they know that this is part of the expectations for the class. It's pretty much the biggest, most ongoing thing. Yes, we have quizzes, tests, and other assignments, but this is something that you know you're going to be doing every week, and there will be different ones for each week. Okay, so that's our first assignment to turn in. On Tuesday, you also have an assignment. It's a quick assignment just to answer about how you listen to music. Okay, so it's a little bit of an icebreaker, just to also for me to kind of get to know a little bit more about you and what types of ways that you listen to music and what kind of things that make it enjoyable. Our listening logs, just to show you those, if you choose the practice log the first week, it tells you that you do need to submit 5 days of practice, and there's questions for all of these. The first week is really only 4 days. Okay, so week by week, we'll talk about that. Some of them, like for example, when we get close to Thanksgiving here in a couple weeks, it's going to carry into the next week. Okay, so you're not going to have to get 5 practices in 2 days before Thanksgiving week. So just to let you know that. But anyway, you'll be answering these questions each day, right? So you don't fill all this in at once. That's not possible. I know some of us really like to just hurry up and turn in an assignment on the day it's due, or, whatever. That's not going to work if you're going to choose, especially not this practice log. You are expected to put something in each day for 5 days or 4 days for the first week. Okay. All right. So your coach is also going to initial these. Obviously, like I said, I'm not expecting you really print it out every time, but I do. It's kind of the honor system that you're showing your coach that you're practicing, and your coach is saying, yep, I know that they practiced. All right. Also, if you decide to do the listening log instead, each week is different. The first one is about jazz. Well, we were doing jazz for the entire first 2 weeks, but this one specifically kind of talks about that you're going to be choosing a jazz musician or composer, and you're going to be not only listening to his or her music or their music. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to select all that. But you're also going to be learning about that person. So you're kind of completing biography questions, right? You're going to learn about when this person was making music And this also says, during which years did this jazz musician compose most of his music? Well, and I didn't make up these questions, but not all jazz musicians composed. Okay, so it could be recorded. I could have changed that. It could be, during which years did the musician compose or record or perform? Okay, so maybe when that person was most well known is kind of what they mean. Anyway, there's lots of different questions in there. If you have specific questions, there's another page in here. And by the way, notice that this says day 2. So you don't really want to try to get it all done in one day. You can split it up throughout the week if you'd like. But if you have questions about either of these or anything that's going on this week, please feel free to schedule a one-on-one with me by just sending me an email. Or you can also come to the live open help on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at 1 p.m. The only other things that are going on this week, besides all of that, as if it's not enough, right, are 3 quizzes, because each day you have some reading, and then that's what the learn means. Wednesday, there's a quiz. Thursday, there's a quiz. Friday, there's also a quiz. So it's over all the information in the learning part. Okay, they're not long. They're just kind of quick checking your understanding for everything. And next week, we will have our first test, however, just to know that, because it's almost every 2 weeks to have a test on one of the units. Okay, just another quick thing I wanted to mention, because not very often, but we will have a couple of extra credit assignments that you may choose to do, and one happens to be in 1.06 module, which is not going to show you here on the plan, that assignment. Like, even if I go to where it says 1.06, well, it doesn't say that, because it says, let's see, it says learn. I mean, this is 1.06. I already know that, because if I click on it, it'll tell me that. But it doesn't give us the assignment really unless you go into the content. Then you'll see over here, there it is. Okay, so that's a little tricky. If you really want to do the extra credit and you want help with that, feel free to ask me for help with that. You don't have to do it now either. You might decide to do it at the end of the trimester. Okay, so that's just an FYI. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover about what's going on this first week. Just make sure you're coming to our Class Connect sessions.